Right now, someone in your life is watching you, not to support you, not to cheer for you, but because they already decided you are going to quit. They have seen this version of you before, the fired up version, the new chapter version, the this time is different version. And every single time you announced your goals, every time you posted your transformation, every time you performed your ambition for an audience, you handed them exactly what they were waiting for: proof. But what if this time you said nothing? What if this time the only person who knew what you were building was you? What if silence was not your weakness, but the most aggressive, most dangerous, most unstoppable move you have ever made? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will not just understand silence, you will know exactly how to use it as a weapon. Most people think the loudest person in the room is the strongest. They think if you are quiet, you have nothing to say. If you do not react, you have lost. And if you do not announce, you are not serious. But history tells a completely different story. The men who actually changed the world were not the loudest ones in the room. They were the most disciplined. They moved in silence, built in private, and struck only when they were ready. The Stoics called this mastery. And today I am giving you 7 rules that will help you become that kind of man. But fair warning, 99% of people watching this will understand every single word and still do nothing. Not because these rules are complicated, but because they are deeply uncomfortable. So if you are ready, let us get into it. Rule 1. Silence is not weakness, it is self-control. Think about the last time someone disrespected you. Maybe it happened at work, maybe online, maybe in front of people you actually respect. Your chest tightened, your mind started building the perfect response, and every instinct you had was screaming, "Answer back, prove you are not weak, make them regret it." That feeling is completely natural, but here is what your ego never tells you. The moment you react, you lose. Not because you said the wrong thing, but because they pulled the trigger and you fired the gun. That is not strength. That is remote control. They owned your emotions without even trying hard. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the best revenge is not to be like your enemy, and that line cuts deeper than most people realize. He was not saying overpower them or destroy them. He was saying simply refuse to become them. Because when you lower yourself to respond to every provocation, you are not proving strength. You are proving that anyone with the right words can hijack your peace. Real strength lives in the pause, that half second between what happens to you and what you choose to do next. Most men never reach that pause because the emotion moves faster than the decision. But the man who finds that pause and lives there becomes nearly impossible to manipulate. And here is something most people never consider. When you stay completely calm in a moment designed to break you, something shifts in the room. The other person expected a reaction. They prepared for resistance. They were ready for war. But when you give them nothing emotional to grab onto, they collapse under their own aggression. They over-explain, they expose their insecurity, they reveal their real intentions, while you remain steady, watching and learning. Your silence in that moment was never submission, it was preparation. Rule 2. Never explain yourself to people who have not earned it. Every time you explain your goals to the wrong person, you are handing a stranger the keys to your motivation and hoping they do not crash it. And they will crash it, not always on purpose, but simply because they cannot see what you see. You tell someone you are starting a business and they immediately talk about failure rates. You tell someone you are changing your body, and they remind you how many times you have tried before. You share that you are cutting off toxic people, and they tell you that you are being too sensitive. These are not your enemies. They are simply people who do not share your vision, and the mistake is expecting them to. Think about what happens when a seed is exposed before the roots have developed, before the foundation is strong, before it has any protection at all. It becomes vulnerable to everything around it: wind, cold, careless hands. Your goals work exactly the same way. In the early stages, they are fragile, and they need silence the same way a seed needs darkness to grow. The Stoics were not obsessed with being understood by the crowd. They were obsessed with being disciplined, and there is a massive difference between those two things. When you stop seeking understanding from the wrong people, your energy stops leaking, your focus sharpens, your commitment deepens, and the mission becomes yours again instead of a group discussion. Your life is not a group discussion. It is a private mission. Not everyone deserves access to what you are building, and the sooner you protect it, the faster it grows. Rule 3. Think deeply before you act. Impulse is the enemy of legacy, and most men are not losing because they lack talent. They are losing because they keep making fast decisions with slow consequences. You send the angry message in 2 seconds and deal with the damage for 2 years. You quit the hard thing in 1 moment and carry the regret for a decade. You say yes too quickly and spend months paying for it. The pattern keeps repeating because the pause never happens. The Stoic practice of deep thinking is brutally simple. Before any significant action, ask one question: where will this actually lead? Not where does it feel good right now, but where will this take me in 30 days, 90 days, 1 year from today? Think about a chess master before every move. There is silence, but it is not confusion. It is pure calculation. They are not just asking, what should I do next? They're asking, if I move here, what will they do? And after that, and after that. 3 moves ahead, 5 moves ahead. That silence between the moment and the move is exactly what separates amateurs from masters. Now apply that same thinking to your daily life. Someone criticizes you publicly, and your instinct screams, defend yourself. But deep thinking asks whether this is worth your energy, whether reacting will serve your future or just satisfy your ego in this one moment. And every night, sit with yourself long enough to ask the questions most people are too uncomfortable to face. Where did ego drive my decisions today? Where did emotion override reason? Where did I repeat a pattern I swore I was done with? These questions sting, but that sting is the feeling of growth. The man who asks them consistently becomes very difficult to keep down. Rule 4. Think beyond the moment. Most people make decisions based on the next 5 minutes. They choose the comfort of now, the emotional win of now, and the easy escape of now. Then look up 5 years later, wondering why their life feels exactly the same. But here is what they are missing. Your future is not being built somewhere in the distance. It is being built right now through the small choices you are making today that feel too minor to matter. One skipped workout does not destroy your body, but the habit of choosing comfort will. One angry reaction does not ruin your reputation, but a pattern of emotional instability will. One wasted night does not destroy your potential, but years of them quietly will. Everything compounds over time, and every private choice is a vote for the person you are slowly becoming. This is why the Stoics placed so much weight on the present moment, not because the future does not matter, but because the present is the only place where the future actually gets built. When someone disrespects you, your ego wants revenge immediately. It wants to win the moment. It wants to feel dominant right now. But wisdom asks a completely different question. If I react this way, what kind of man am I training myself to become? That one question, asked consistently, can save you from years of unnecessary pain and redirect your energy towards something that actually lasts. The weak man asks, "What do I feel like doing right now?" The strong man asks, "Where will this lead?" Ask that before you speak, before you spend, before you quit, before you send the message you already know you will regret. Patience is not passive. Patience is controlled power. And in a world full of impulsive people, a patient man is genuinely dangerous.
Rule 5. Win quietly so your victories last longer. Loud winning is fragile, and most people discover this too late. The moment you announce your success, you inherit a new kind of pressure. Now you have to maintain the image. Now your motivation shifts from internal to external, and external motivation is the most unreliable fuel that exists. Here is the trap. You announce a goal, people respond with excitement, your brain releases dopamine, it feels exactly like progress, but nothing has actually been built yet. The announcement became the achievement, the hunger died before the work even started. And that is why so many people are loud in January and completely invisible by March. Real builders do not need daily confirmation that they are working. They train when no one knows, write when no one reads, and improve when no one is watching, because their goal was never applause. Their goal was to become undeniable. Quiet wins compound faster because they are not constantly interrupted by performance. There are no updates to maintain, no pressure to look consistent, no public embarrassment when the plan needs to change, just pure momentum, and momentum is everything. What looks sudden to the outside world was almost always built in silence for months or even years. That transformation people cannot explain, that success nobody saw coming, that man who went quiet and came back completely different, he was not lucky. He was building while everyone else was performing. Let your results arrive before your announcement. Let your transformation speak before your mouth does. That is how real power is created. Rule 6. Never announce the work before it is finished. This goes even deeper than winning quietly, because it is about protecting the work itself during its most vulnerable stage. The moment you tell people what you are building, you lose leverage. You invite opinions, you invite doubt, and you invite distraction, and most of it arrives disguised as support. Marcus Aurelius did not say, "Talk about becoming a good man," or "announce your intention to transform." He said, "Be one." The work is the statement. Everything else is noise. When you announce unfinished work, something dangerous happens inside your own mind. People respond with excitement, and your brain registers that excitement as a reward. Suddenly, it feels like you have already made progress. The hunger softens, the discipline relaxes, and the mission quietly shifts from building something real to performing something impressive. That is how great ideas die. Not from failure, but from premature applause. There is also a deeper truth here that most people overlook. When nobody knows what you are building, you are forced to love the work itself. If you cannot stay committed without someone watching, it was never a real goal. It was an identity performance. The man who can work in complete silence, who can train without posting, write without announcing, and build without broadcasting, that man is the one who actually finishes. So protect the work.
Keep it close. Let it develop in private until it is strong enough to stand on its own. Finish first, speak later. And when the result finally arrives, it will speak so clearly that no announcement was ever necessary.
Rule 7. Let people underestimate you. This is the rule most men struggle with the most because it asks the ego to do the one thing it absolutely cannot stand. Let people be wrong about you without correcting them. Someone thinks you are average. Let them. Someone thinks your silence means you have nothing to offer. Let them think that. Someone dismisses your potential, overlooks your capability, or writes you off entirely. Do not correct them. Do not educate them. Do not prove a single thing. Because underestimation is not an insult, it is cover. When people underestimate you, they lower their guard. They stop watching closely. They do not prepare for you. They do not study you. And while they're busy dismissing you, you are quietly sharpening yourself into something they never saw coming. Think about every major upset in history, in sports, in business, in life. It happened because someone was underestimated. The opponent did not prepare. The threat was dismissed as minor, and that underestimation created the exact opening needed for a victory nobody predicted. Being underestimated also removes the weight of expectation. You can fail privately, experiment without judgment, and rebuild without an audience watching your mistakes. That freedom accelerates growth in a way that being constantly watched never can, because instead of managing how you look, you are investing everything into actually becoming better. And here is the paradox that most people completely miss. The less you need to prove, the more you actually prove. Insecurity announces itself. Confidence is silent. When you are constantly trying to convince people of your worth, you are quietly revealing that you're unsure of it. But when you are genuinely comfortable being underestimated, you are showing something far more powerful, that your belief in yourself does not depend on their opinion at all. So let them underestimate your intelligence, your discipline, your ambition, your potential. Do not correct them, just keep building. Because when the results become impossible to ignore, their underestimation becomes their embarrassment, and your silence becomes your legacy.
7 rules. Ancient, simple, and almost nobody will apply them with any real consistency. Not because they are hard to understand, but because they demand something modern life has quietly trained out of most people: the ability to be private, patient, and disciplined without needing anyone to witness it. In a world that rewards noise, choosing silence is the most radical thing you can do. In a culture built on performance, choosing substance is what separates the ones who actually build from the ones who just talk about it. So stop performing and start producing. Stop explaining and start executing. Stop chasing applause and start building something that lasts long after the applause dies. The world may not notice you right now, and honestly, that is exactly how it should be. Let them sleep. Let them doubt. Let them wait for you to quit like they have seen you do before. This time, say nothing. Build everything. And when the results finally arrive, no explanation will ever be necessary. If this hits you, drop in the comments right now, "I am the quiet storm." Share this with one person who needs to stop talking and start building. Subscribe, Stoic 95, because we are just getting started, and I will see you in the next one.